The Russian president has delivered one of his strongest messages to Europe, warning that if the continent chooses war with Moscow, Russia is fully prepared to respond. In fact, Putin warned that escalation could reach a stage where, in his words, no one would remain on the European side for Moscow to negotiate with. Let's just play out for you what the Russian president said.
Мы не собираемся воевать с Европой, я уже об этом 100 раз сказал.
We are not planning to fight Europe. I have said this 100 times. But if Europe suddenly decides to wage a war against us and starts it, we are ready right now. If Europe chooses to start a war, the situation can very quickly reach a point where there will be no one left for us to negotiate with.
Putin accused Ukraine's European allies of deliberately derailing the US-led diplomatic efforts that have intensified in recent weeks. He said Europe keeps rewriting the peace proposals with demands that Moscow will never entertain, effectively sabotaging the process and then shifting blame onto Russia. Now, these remarks are coming days after the European Union's top diplomat, remember, expressed concern that the US attempts to push Ukraine into a lopsided peace plan would only encourage Russia's warmongering. Estonia also signaled that it would send troops to Ukraine if a future security arrangement placed peacekeeping forces inside the country. And Putin further threatened to cut off Ukraine's maritime access, citing drone attacks on Russia's shadow fleet operating in the Black Sea.
The most radical solution is to cut Ukraine off from the sea. Then piracy will be impossible for Ukraine in principle.
Now, earlier, Putin hosted a high-profile meeting at the Kremlin with the special envoy Steve Witkoff and US President Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner. Following the meeting, the Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov has said peace remains distant. He stated that the US proposal discussed in the 5-hour session was divided into 4 main areas, yet the two sides could not reach common ground on the most contentious topic, which is territorial issues. And the Kremlin later reported that Putin accepted parts of the US draft deal while rejecting others. And that Russia is ready to keep meeting with American negotiators for as long as necessary to reach a final agreement. While during his visit to Ireland, the Ukrainian president said he was afraid the United States could lose interest in the peace process and alleged that Russia's goal was to bring this about. Trump, on the other hand, referenced the negotiations during his final cabinet meeting of 2025, describing the conflict as chaotic and difficult to solve.
8 wars, this would be the 9th, and our people are over in Russia right now to see if we can get it settled. Not an easy situation, let me tell you. What a mess. It's a war that never would have happened if I were president. Not even a chance. And it didn't happen for 4 years.
And as the battlefield as well as the diplomatic channels remain active, Putin's latest warning leaving Europe confronting the possibility of a conflict from which the Russian president says no negotiating partners may survive, according to him. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.